Welcome back for another episode of Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 13. You know what? At this point, it's MM's fault. Hit the like and subscribe button as the intro plays. Alright, yes, I said it. It's MM's fault. Everything is MM's fault at this point. Now, I am not denying that EKG is a douchebag, as a jerk, as an a-hole, but what I'm saying is, MM, you keep coming back for more.
Camille, you're a stupid
Liar.
Now, of course, here we don't go through all the details, and by we, I mean me or I. I don't go through all the details. I say we all the time because I was trained in advertising to say there's no I in team, it's we. So that's why I always say we. Anyhow, EKG and MM met up for a date night. Because remember, MM said he's going to have to date me from now on. If he wants to be with me, he's going to have to date me, and I'm not engaging anymore. So I'm assuming EKG initiated this outing. And here's a side note. I know that place, Cones, where they went. My neighbor's daughter, or my friend's daughter, used to work there when she was in high school. Cones, the ice cream place. But of course, did EKG really set this date up? Who set the date up? Did production set the date up?
Hell yeah, man.
Because EKG came in as dry as ever, uninterested as ever, smug as ever, itch-like as ever. So, what brings you joy? Right now, this ice cream I'm eating brings me joy. Being married brings me joy. Being next to a man brings me joy. Work brings me joy, but it doesn't bring the joy of being married and seeing my husband.
You ate that.
Okay, so MM, she knows that EKG isn't engaged, isn't interested, but yet she's going through. So my question is she just stuck on stupid, or is production really forcing this issue for them to keep coming back, meeting together so they can have some content? That's my question. I hope it is the latter, because if MM is still hell-bent on being married to this man, making it work with this man, she's insane, and I stand with it's her fault.
Who's the dummy now?
Because no one can treat you a certain way. It's up to you to feel or treat you or make you feel a certain way. Your reaction and your response is on you, because the person is, and Kechi is the jerk that he's going to be, but how you respond and react to Kechi, that said, that's all on you. So if you choose to stay in a relationship with someone who doesn't like you, who doesn't want to be with you, who actually said that they were reluctant to move back into a house with you, that you would, what was the word he used? Well, he was leery to move back, but he said you gave him anxiety.
Nigga, please.
And he's still displaying the same behavior on this date he supposedly set up, because you said you weren't putting in any effort. So I'm assuming Akechi set up that date at Cones. When he asked what brings you joy, she threw it back at him. What brings you joy? He said, well, right now, seeing my niece, and, I'm going back to Houston for homecoming, seeing my, and she said, oh, see your mom? I would like to see your mom. And he gave her a look like, please, that ain't gonna ever happen. And so that's pretty much everything with them. And MM had a call with Dr. Pia and basically said how She's really committed to the marriage, but he's not acting like he wants to be in a marriage. Same old story. It keeps going. I'm tired of production forcing these people to stay in these situations versus switching up the show a little bit. Like, switch it up a bit and make it more, it'll make it more interesting. I mean, I know I get that for production dollars, it's easier to keep the same structure of the show, the same formula of the show. But for viewers, it's becoming ridiculous. It's insane because it's just like on all the other reality shows, people fighting all the time with so-called friends that would never happen in real life. So people in a relationship where you don't even know the person, you're just meeting the person, but this person is being foul to you, but yet you're committed to the process. I'm sticking with it. That's insane. So that's why it's either production or it's MM. And if it's MM, it's your fault that this is happening to you, because that man doesn't like you. He doesn't want to like you, and he will do nothing but mistreat you. So give it up, turn it loose. So the ladies, they, met up for a girls' night out at sound bowl healing. And, who was the sound bowl healer? Carla. Guess what? I don't like Carla's voice. I don't know why people who facilitate meditations feel like they have to elongate the words. Make sure you are relaxed. Take deep breaths. There are other ways to get to that space. I've been in many yoga classes, meditation classes, where instructors facilitate that in a better way than what Carla was doing. So she needs more training. As much as I defend Carla here, her voice is just not it. And the guys, they went for boxing. They love to do boxing on Married at First Sight, as if these guys are really into boxing. But, the only thing that came out of that is that they made a dig at EKG. Thomas said, well, he wouldn't have given anything anyhow. He wasn't going to offer anything. Back to the ladies, MM is still bitching about EKG. Get over it. And Michelle brings up the David gate, and the camera kept panning over to Madison, but she wasn't really given any inclination, at least to me, that she was guilty of being with David. But we shall see in upcoming scenes. All right. So next up, there was Carla and Juan. Their situation this episode was basically intimacy. This is the intimacy episode. And, Dr. Pia was doing a lot of house calls this episode, so I'm not going in any order. But, she recommended that they do some tantric yoga. This is definitely in Carla's wheelhouse, not necessarily Juan's. But they did tantric yoga, and they met with a tantric teacher. Is it me, or all the tantric teachers are usually not like, they don't look like very sexual people? Every time I've seen a tantric teacher on anything, they just never look like very sexual people, or people you can even imagine doing those positions. So they did this tantric thing, and it was just so awkward. And, Carla was into it, like sweeping roses over Juan, and even the tantric lady was sweeping roses over Juan. And I know Juan got a little bit like, ooh. For a hot second. I saw it in his face, because the way that lady grazed that rose on the nether region on the package, as EKG would say, yeah, Juan was like, yeah. But then when Juan in turn did it to Carla, he was so awkward, like in The Golden Child.
I want the knife, please.
He was just like, and making fun of it. So he wasn't taking it seriously, because I don't think these two should have been doing that. And how could you take it seriously with all these cameras around? I mean, corn stars do, but that's what they were doing. They were supposedly getting intimate, and Carla says she's into it. But the looks on Carla's face, I don't think she likes Juan either, but she's playing along for the cameras, it seems. I hope so, because he definitely doesn't like Carla. But Carla's like, oh yeah, I'm into it. And then she'll make a face. Like, what? Her face, her body language to me is counter what she's saying. But, her energy. Her energy is a counter. Like, I'm getting the energy that Carla's really not into it. That's my intuition telling me that. And speaking of awkwardness, let's go on over to Thomas and Camille. hated these scenes with Thomas and Camille. They irked the hell out of me because, one, Camille keeps pushing this narrative that she wants a more assertive man. She wants a take charge guy. She's always been take charge because of, the way she grew up, because of her parents' divorce. She had to, step in and take charge. But here's the thing. If you want to take charge man, just kind of step back. And maybe you're a take charge woman and you need to be with a guy who's not a take charge man. And then it's like she's still throwing shots at him by saying, he could spice it up in the bedroom. He could, pull my hair. He could do this.
And I felt like it was a situation in which he was trying to see if I was with it.
And he said, I'm with it. Thomas said, I'm with it. And, it's like she's trying to play him for soft. But just because he didn't, nerds are freaks too. Nerds can be freaks. I know several nerds that are freaks. So don't let the light-skinned suburban thing fool you, Camille. Just because he don't have that R&B smoothness doesn't mean that he ain't a freak. But it's like those scenes with them were so awkward and unsexy. They were unsexy. They weren't erotic. They weren't even cute. They weren't endearing. They were just hard to watch because, she put an avocado in his mouth. In the first scene, she had the vibrator pow pow, and I actually have one of those, and one is very intense. So the highest level is too intense for any muscle. So don't try that at home, ladies, by the way. Don't. Because the muscles, it's too much for your muscles. So when she did that, put it up to 4, it's like, why is she trying to be this dominatrix? She don't even seem like she has it in her. And then when she plopped on his back, it's like, I felt that. Like, Camille, you're not a small girl. Like, you hurt him. And you're tying him up. Like, that's not intimacy. That's S&M. That's what it is. It's a dom and a sub. And that's not intimacy. And it's not cute to see on camera. And it couldn't have been an intimate moment for you two. It was awkward. Because I know all the cameras are around. And I know porn stars have cameras around all the time. Again, but you guys aren't that. And you guys aren't sexy. You guys don't even seem like you have chemistry. So it was just, ew, I hated seeing it. And I just wanted it off my screen. Now let's get to Madison and Allan. They're having a tiff the whole episode. They meet with Dr. Pia too, and basically we still know Madison does not like Allan. So it seems to me it's like Madison's finding any and every reason to be mad at Allan. He basically implied that she was a party girl. And she's like, that's not all that I am. Like, I worked hard for this with my looks. I'm not all my looks. Like, Madison, you're not that cute. And I know Madison's insecure about her looks. That's probably why she works out so hard. She has the implants, and she has a bad weave. She wants to be blonde her whole life. She has a bad dye job. And so now she's mad that people are perceiving her as a party girl when she goes out all the time. But you are a party girl. And then what did you do? You left and didn't return until 3 a.m. What? And to prove his point. And you might not have been partying, but you were out all night, Madison. And then you're acting mad at him. And you, like, later on, Madison says, well, you're not treating me well, basically implying that he's insensitive to her feelings. Madison, you've been nothing but insensitive to his feelings the entire time. Just because it's your truth and your honesty and you're being honest with him, telling him how you feel, you never even thought that you might be hurtful. You never thought that what you were doing was hurtful to him. So he says one little thing to you and you're all in a tizzy. And he said you're sensitive. You're more sensitive than many. Oh, well, they haven't shown that on camera. So I can't believe that or deny it. I don't know. But Madison, you just want a reason to be mad at him to make him the bad guy. And he is the only one, aside from Michelle showing up and being honest. He was at least honest with you finally. He wants to be with you. He said, it hurt my heart. I was worried that I had a dream that you went with some other guy. I'm like, oh, wow.
Come on, be my baby tonight.
I genuinely care about you. I'm not in love with you, but I have love for you. So Allan is really, that's sad for me. I'm sad for Allan because, dude, you have no chance with her. She has this vision of this guy, this pretty boy, and you're not it. Like, you have a great personality, apparently, and you have a good job, and you have a nice car and a nice house. And everybody seems to think when you said you renovated your kitchen that you did all the work yourself. I need Allan to let me know, did you do that work yourself? Because I don't think you did. You could have, but I think he just said he redid the house. He had it redone. I don't think he did it. He put the hammers and the nail and the tile up with the paste on with the backsplash. I don't think he did all that, but maybe, I don't know. But so that was their thing. This whole show, this whole episode was pretty boring. Then we get back down to David and Michelle, Liegate, Dumplingate, Textgate, Denise Gate.
They're lying. Just lying. Yeah, I know.
Michelle's still convinced that David is lying. Pastor Cal thinks David is lying. Like, David, why don't you just tell the truth? You know she doesn't like you. You're out here dating in the streets, doing your thing on Tinder. Why can't you just tell the truth? Look, you weren't giving me any play. So, hey, I kept it moving. Life happens. Life goes on. This thing is going to be over in 2 months. I need to stay in the game. I got to keep my head in the game. He could have just said that. And then he said on the after show that Michelle really didn't even care. She said, David, I don't care. But then on camera, I guess she acts like she cares. But I don't get why she keeps harping on it. You're married. You're married. You were going to divorce him after you found out he lived at home, Michelle. Come on now. But this episode overall, maybe I missed something. I think I'm going through it fast, but it was just, to me, another filler episode. Next week, they, though, do the couples episode. And the couples episode has always been exciting to me, has been exciting to me since Hurricane K came slamming through, knocking over benches and stuff. So hopefully something really goes down dramatic on this episode, because it seems as though Michelle is implying that David and Madison had something going on, because Madison storms out. But anyhow, drop into the comments and tell me what you think. Did you find Camille and Thomas sexy? Are you tired of Madison? Are you tired of Juan and Carla? Are you tired? Or are you just excited for another week? Anyhow, like and subscribe.